Hello and what is going on, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are going to be kicking off a new series of videos that I'm going to be calling the new Diesel Showdown. Basically, I did some videos years ago in the original SpinTires. It might have even been the tech demo, where it was basically a showdown between diesel trucks, Cummins, Duramax, Powerstroke, and what we did was we drove the trucks back to back, pulled a variety of machines and loads and obstacles, and to see how the trucks would do against each other. Now, we've brought along 3 different stock, I say stock in quotation marks because they're not exactly identical to the way the real trucks would perform, but the creator of these mods, which is Banks, actually says that there are subtle differences between each one of these trucks, and they're not copy-pasted versions of the same performance file. So you guys will be happy to know that these trucks each have their own individual torque values, each have their own individual grip setting. Well, not really grip settings, but he uses pretty much the same tire stuff for all 3, just to kind of keep it fair. But again, the torque settings are different, and there's a few different things in the coding for the drivetrain and how the truck actually drives that are different. So what we're going to be doing in this first test is, well, what are diesel trucks all about? They're about towing. They're about pulling. And with that being said, we brought along the K8400 Skidder, which in this instance is going to be acting as a disabled vehicle. By a disabled vehicle, what I mean is it's going to be in pull mode, not drive mode, when we attach the winch to the K8400 Skidder. So right now, I'm in the stock variant of the 2018 F350, and I'll show you the route that we're going to use for this towing challenge. So we're going to set off from the garage, drive each truck up this hill, and which, by the way, I know you're already, like, some of you are probably going to be rolling your eyes. You're going to be like, oh my god, he's only driving up a hill? Are you serious? Do something interesting. No, trust me. Towing those up, like towing that skidder, especially with the engine disabled, the drive disabled, up that hill is a challenge. Now, each truck has to get the skidder basically down here to this crossroad. And if they can do that, they've pretty much passed the test. And as far as, you know, which one is best, partially I'm going to leave that up to you guys to decide, and partially I'm going to give you guys my opinion on which truck I think actually handled each task better. So, with that being said, we're going to make this a clean restart. We're going to restart from scratch and go right back to the beginning, and we're going to be hooking up the Ford first and foremost. So, the order we're going to go in is Ford, Chevy, and then Dodge. So we're going to have no add-ons. These trucks are going to be run as they come from the workshop. So, well, really not even from the workshop, but the way they spawn into the game. So we're going to back up right here to the skidder, and we're going to hook it up. From there, once it starts its engine, we're going to switch it to pull mode, and we are going to set off. Now, there are a variety of ways that we could conduct this test. We could leave it in automatic. We could put it in low. We could put it in high. Putting it in high, I'm already going to tell you, is useless. It's absolutely useless. There's no point. And if you put it in high, you're just going to spin. That is even if your truck can get down enough power to keep itself running. Now, right when they start to spin, that's when you can go ahead and put them in low. And whether or not that's going to help this one remains to be seen, because it seems like it's going to kind of walk around just a little bit. And then, oh geez, there's no way that's as far as the Ford could pull it. There's no way that's like as far as the Ford's going to pull it. Come on. I'll back up just a little bit. And then just so we don't actually have to deal with the thing basically sinking into the ground, I'm going to try keeping it in low 2, and I'm going to try and not let it sink. Because when it starts to sink, that's when it's gone. That's when the whole challenge is done. Dude, this thing's not freaking moving. I mean, I hate to call it for the Ford this early, but there's no way. It doesn't even want to budge that thing. It doesn't even want to come close to budging that thing. God, I feel like if it had the traction, it could do it, but there's no way this thing's getting the traction. I'm going to try one more approach. I'm going to let that thing roll just a little bit. Hell, we could even speed it up by pushing it back. We'll try one more line because I don't want to like, call it right off the bat for the Ford guys because I know the Ford guys don't want me to do that either. Oh, damn. It doesn't even want to go from there. Maybe if we stay directly in front of it. That might be the problem. It still doesn't want to move. Even though we're directly in front of it, it's still... Oh! It caught traction. It's moving now. Surprisingly enough, it's moving now. Wow, okay. I'm glad we didn't give up on the Ford that, like, too early. Oh, you've got to be joking. No way. No way. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No way. No way. It's pulling just a tiny little bit. It's all down to where the traction is. And if we can find the traction, we'll have it. But to be fair, it can only keep doing this for so long. And wherever this thing stops is pretty much where it's going to stay. God, I feel like it's going to just be... That's where it's going to stop. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to stop right here. I don't know if it just, like, the load got to be too much for it, or that was just kind of it. But regardless, that's where this guy stops, I guess. Well, that sucks for the Ford. I mean, like, I was hoping it would get a lot further than that. But also, to keep this fair, so there's no variance in the surface or anything, I am restarting the map for each truck. I am not going to let any, like, weird outside circumstances make one truck look better than the other truck. I'm doing this fairly. And I know there's still going to be that one guy that's going to tell me I'm not doing it fairly. But anyways, let's see. Let's grab the Chevy now, because that's the way I said the order was going to go. So, this thing now, this thing is actually a really cool truck, because I rarely use the stock variant of this particular generation Duramax diesel, and to be honest, like, it's always been like a great looking truck. It's been a cool looking truck. It's been a truck that I honestly enjoy driving. So we're going to start it off in low 3, and if it starts to spin, we'll take it from there. But my God, this truck is a powerhouse. Good God. Let me just show you guys. This is not a tuned version. This is the stock one. In low 3. Absolutely. Wait a minute. Oh, I know what happened. That's what happened. That's why it was so easy. That's why it was so easy. The thing was in drive mode. I forgot to not put it... Wow. 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 I need to, like, slam my face against my microphone or something a couple times, because that's, like... That's really bad. That's really bad. I thought we had found something, like... You know, either a glitch in the Matrix or a really overpowered freaking truck. Alright. We're going to hook you up one more time. And pull mode. There we go. Oh, yeah. It's definitely feeling it. It's definitely feeling it now. So far, the Chevy feels like it's digging into the ground more than the Ford did. But at the same time, it also, yeah, that feels like it's digging into the ground more than the Chevy did. It also feels like it's spinning more. Let's hit low 2. Ooh. This thing has some really good low-end grunt. Had a much easier time than the Ford, that's for sure. Had a way easier time than the Ford. And like I said, these trucks all feel similar, but they definitely have their differences. And when he told me that they're not copy-pasted versions of the same tune, I wholeheartedly believe him, because they perform completely differently. While they perform, they do have some similar performance characteristics, but they perform differently in the grand scheme of everything, and in the grand scheme of comparing them to other trucks. But we're already down into the swamp area now. or at least heading into the swamp area. We don't really have any weight behind the truck right now, but I'm very curious as to see, because the Ford didn't make it down here. The Ford didn't make it down here, and the Chevy just is just going. The Chevy just wants to, like, get this thing all the way to the end. Now, I am mildly concerned about the fact that we are heading into water and mud, and that is a real hazard for trucks like these, especially the fact that these are not, you know, these are not crazy lifted. They're not, you know, they don't have crazy grippy tunes. They're not they're not overpowered. They're actually pretty close to what realistic performance would be out of something like this. So, with that being said, and also, too, I mean, yeah, I say close to realistic performance. I mean, I don't know if a truck like this could pull a skidder like that. Those skidders weigh so much. So, I honestly don't know if they could really pull one reliably and still actually have a transmission afterwards. They would probably do it once, and the transmission could probably do it once, and that would be about it in terms of what you would get out of it. But coming up the outside edge of the swamp, just a little bit farther to go now, and the Chevy is going to have made just a full-on clean sweep of this challenge. If we get all the way to the end, we're like 75% there. Well, we're more like 80% there at this point. This hill is going to be a challenge. Yeah, this hill is going to be a challenge. There's no way that it's not going to be. Oh my god, it wants to, though. Top of low 1 might have just enough to get it. Oh! It moved! Up into low 2. Got it up over the hill. I was really worried that was going to be it for the Chevy. I was really worried it was going to be done right there. But this is going to be the deciding factor, if it can get it up over that little ledge. Because that's a big deal right there. Problem is, we have such a short winch line that it doesn't really give you much room to kind of correct for something if it happens. Now, to be fair, though, I wanted it to have a short line, because with that short of a line, you have to think about which line you take. You have to think about how you drive the truck. You don't have this big, like, massive margin for error. But you can see how it yanks the truck when I send it back this way. It's just, it's really tugging on the back of the truck. And I will say for sure that this thing is feeling the weight. It really is feeling the weight. Can we get it past that one spot? Nope. That is going to be that. I almost feel like that is going to be that for the Duramax. It made it so far, though. It made it so far compared to the Ford. It made it so far. But with that being said, I think it's time to grab the Cummins and see what we can do with that. Now, also, I do want to make this clear that yes, there could probably be different scenarios if we kept doing this over and over and over and over again. But what I do want to make clear is the fact that we're only giving these trucks a few chances per pull to back up and readjust, because it makes it a lot more interesting, and it gives you guys a better idea of what these trucks would do kind of right from the get-go in a situation, rather than, like, I mean, yeah, you can make a truck do it if you try it 10 million times. Welcome back to SpinTires MudRunner, a.k.a. Crashing Simulator 2018, or 19, whenever it is that you're watching this video. But, since the game crashed and it refused to reload our progress, and the only truck that we had left to test was the Dodge, that's the only truck that I've respawned into the map, because it makes no sense to spawn the others. So, we're going to start this guy up, and we're going to hook him up to the Skidder. And honestly, this one is the one that I'm most excited for. I'm kind of rooting for this truck. I really like the fourth gen Rams, the 4th gen Cummins trucks. I really like the way they look. I really like the way they sound, and I am really hoping that this one puts on a damn good show. So, setting off up the hill with that thing in pull mode, and it's It's already working it. It's definitely working it. Feels good. Feels like it's putting its grip down to the ground, not sinking. It's easily walking right past what the Ford did. Not an attack on the Ford, guys. Just letting that be known. Letting that be known before all of y'all Ford people start throwing pitchforks at your computer screens. But nonetheless, it walked that first hill. Absolutely freaking walked that first hill. So the next couple sections are going to be very, very interesting, specifically the swamp and the hill after the swamp, because when the Duramax ended up getting over the hill itself, it was unable to pull the skidder over it. So this, since we've been able to make it this far, this easily, this is going to be a very interesting test of whether or not this Dodge with the Cummins diesel has the ability to make it that far. So we're in the mud right now. Doesn't seem to have any problems with it, or at least any problems, you know, applying that grip. Oh God, we were inside that rear tire. Look at that. Oh boy. All right, into the water now. This is where it gets a little weird. And by the way, Banks, I know you're watching right now. Fix the color on this truck, please. It's very pink. It's very, very, very pink. So please fix the color on this truck. I would really, I think me and the rest of the people that downloaded it would really appreciate it. Unless you wanted a pink 4th gen Dodge. In which case you probably be completely okay with it. But like, if you, I feel like this truck would look so much better in an actual red with a black Cummins logo. That would, or black or silver Cummins logo. That would look the best. But that does not affect the performance, so we're going to get right back to the performance of this truck in terms of seeing what it can do. And it's still going strong. No issues. The skidder is a little bit off in the mud, though, so we're going to have to pull it back up onto the land. But to be honest, it's not even struggling to do it, so I'm not worried about it or anything. It did give me a slight dangerous water level warning, but I think it gave the Duramax that warning too, so I think we're okay. Be nice and easy. Nice and easy. Low 2, really, really working. Truck is working hard. It slowed down big time too. Oh! Forward motion has just stopped. Come on! Just need that one little bit of grip. Oh, there it is! There's that one little bit of grip! That one little bit of grip that I was looking for. I wonder if going at an angle is gonna... Wow, it's still... Uh-oh. Forward motion stopped again. Oh, don't tell me that this is gonna be a bad line. God, it's lifting the back end of the truck up so much. So much. Oh, there we go. There we go. She found grip. Now maybe, I was going to say, maybe we can kick it up a notch. Come on, now that we're on hard-packed ground. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, right at the tip of that hill. Right where the Duramax gave up, too. And maybe not necessarily gave up, but stopped pulling, let's say. That's where the forward motion really stopped. Now, to be fair, in the Duramax, I had to use low 1 to get to this point. In the Cummins, I have only just now used low 1 for the first time. The very first time. Yeah, it's just digging, though. It is digging away. Absolutely digging away right there. And this is that one spot that seems to be the deciding factor for all of these trucks. God, look at it just digging up the dirt right there. I love this physics system. I really do. Like, I still love this physics system, and it's come a long way ever since the original, like, SpinTires tech demo. It really has come miles, leaps and bounds from that engine. And it really is kind of like a similar engine. It's not like the same, but it's close. God, you're so close. Let's try and inch it over this way. Dude, she's gonna try, but you know what? I'm gonna ease it back. I'm going to ease it back. Oh, wow, okay. So this actually gives us a little bit of room. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a huge mistake, so I was just going to stop right there. There's no way. There's no way that's going to actually, you know, make any sort of benefit to what we're trying to accomplish here. Yeah, that's kind of done right there. That really is kind of done. And to be honest, like, I don't know if that's a brilliant idea, like, to try to keep it going, because if we try it in high, it's gonna sink. Like, watch. If we try this in high, watch, it's gonna sink. Well, if we try it in automatic, it's still gonna sink. It made it right to where it was before. Right to where it was before. It just can't manage to pull it up over that little crest. Oh, did it make some forward movement right there, or was that just me? That had to have been just me. No way! Oh my god! Dude! It got just a little farther, but it's still not wanting to go anywhere. It's still not wanting to go anywhere. And while I'm sure that we could kind of, like, we could fiddle around with this and eventually get it to move, that's kind of where it starts to get, like, how I'm judging these is wherever it starts to get really, really, really hard for the truck, that's kind of like its, I guess, like, competitive stopping point. Not its real stopping point, but its competitive stopping point. So, with that being said, the Ford kind of gave up a little early on, and the Duramax and the Cummins actually kind of were right next to each other right at the end. I feel like the Dodge made it just a little bit farther, but that's just judging by what I see here. It feels like it did, but it may not have. It may have been right neck and neck with the Chevy. But let me know in the comment section below which truck is your favorite, and if you enjoyed this video, do let me know in the comments below as well. And I'm going to be back soon with different kinds of tests where we're going to be facing off these 3 different trucks. So, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you subscribe for more.